So there are three essential principles of clicker training that we're going to discuss in separate videos and then in the in-person classes as well. The first principle is the concept of capturing, and that refers to capturing a behavior. So with clicker, we mark behaviors that we like, that we want to see more often. So that's called capturing. So if a dog does a behavior that we want to see more often, we click and treat. Right there, Penny just did a little scratch with her hind leg to her face. And that's a trick I want to develop into a sustained pose. Let's see if she'll do it again. So I want you, it's important to make use of capturing in the in-person classes and at home. Whenever your dog does something that you like, whether it be sitting, lying down, not barking, not jumping up, those are clickable moments. Those are behaviors you can capture. If you have a dog that barks a lot, if the dog is quiet, click and treat, even if the dog isn't doing anything else in particular. If you have a dog that jumps up a lot, if the dog happens to not be jumping up, click and treat that. You know, click and treat calm, desirable behavior. The dog doesn't have to be performing a specific behavior like a sit, or if you're, like in the case of Penny, this is Penny, by the way. In the case of Penny, I'm trying to capture some behaviors I can turn into tricks. But you can use capturing for just creating a well-mannered pet, and that is just clicking and treating, capturing well-mannered behavior. So if your dog is calmly lying on its dog bed, click and treat. If your dog normally jumps up when greeting you and isn't for whatever reason, or you're able to capture a moment when all four paws are on the floor, click and treat that. So capturing is just looking for behavior that you want to see more of and clicking and treating that behavior. And I'm going to try to demonstrate some more with Penny. She's probably kind of tired. We've been doing a lot of work today. But I'm going to see if she can demonstrate some behaviors that I could capture. So right now, she's on a piece of furniture. I don't really want to capture that, although she is allowed on furniture. Just a moment ago, she was chewing on her foot. That's not a behavior I want to capture because that can turn into an obsessive type of behavior. So I'm just going to encourage her to start moving around a little bit because I don't really want her on the couch. Ah! So that was not capturing. That was me requesting that she do something. She did it, and she got a reward for it. Okay, so there I'm capturing her standing still because that's a behavior we're working on. She likes to dance around a lot. So standing still and looking at me, that's a clickable behavior. Penny also is a dog that likes to jump up and bark. So any moment she's not jumping up and barking, that can also be considered a clickable behavior. And if you want to get your dog moving around more, you can throw the treat on the floor. So that's a trick we're working on. So I captured that. Again, standing still, looking at me. that's a desirable behavior I want to see more of. So I'm clicking and treating that, and gradually clicking and treating longer and longer periods of her standing still and looking at me. Now I'm not clicking and treating the paw to face behavior as much because she knows how to do that on cue. Once we have put a behavior on cue, once a dog will respond to the cue and perform the behavior, we then stop capturing the behavior. In other words, we stop clicking and treating when the dog does the behavior without us giving the cue. Paw. Since she likes doing that behavior, I gave her the opportunity. Paw. And for that behavior, my criteria is that the paw actually touch her face. So I'm gradually waiting for longer and longer periods of time of her standing still looking at me. And then also I'm going to throw in some clicks and treats for her just standing here looking at me for a second or two, so it doesn't just get harder. So as you can see with capturing, you can capture the simplest of behaviors. The dog standing still looking at you. That's awesome. The dog isn't jumping up, the dog's not barking, the dog is paying attention to you, and the dog isn't bouncing around and being a pest. So she gets reinforced for that. And that's an example of capturing behavior. In other videos, I'll talk about the other two main principles of clicker training, or techniques, I guess you could say, which are shaping behavior and targeting. Thanks for watching, and please email me if you have any questions about this or any other video or anything else that we cover. Have a good day.